If you're on TikTok at all, you've probably heard the advice of making a book on Canva and then selling it through KDP or through some other location to make money. But is that actually legal? Let's break this down with a lawyer.
My name is Tony Iliakostas. I'm an adjunct professor of entertainment law and IP at New York Law School. I have an Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok account called the IP Professor that's dedicated to all things intellectual property.
There's been a lot of advice floating around the internet saying that people can design their books or parts of their book in Canva and publish them professionally. So, when it comes to designing book covers, interior graphics of books, or even low content books like journals and puzzle books, are we legally allowed to use Canva and the resources within Canva to create and then to print and publish these books on retailers like Barnes& and Noble, Amazon, etc.?
So let me start with the disclaimer that I feel is necessary. If you don't give a crap about copyright, have at it. But if you do care about copyright, if you do care about investing some iota of effort for all the work that you'd put into making a book, whether it's low effort or significantly, you spend a significant amount of time investing and writing and creating, odds are that there's a lot of complexity from a copyright perspective for using the Canva templates to then publish the book. So let's start from the forefront that when you use Canva, it is just an open template software for you to put things in and design things. But Canva has made it quite clear repeatedly in their terms and conditions, and more specifically in their content license agreement, about kind of the permissions that you're being granted when you're using the software. And Canva's license agreement is pretty clear on that point. They essentially say that all of the material that's on their website is their copyright. You can't claim it as your own. Now, if you organically uploaded material onto the platform, that's obviously your copyright. So if, let's say, you drew an illustration and you're uploading uploading it to Canva for the sake of just having a vehicle to publish that material, exactly. In that sense, that's fine. But if you're using the graphics that are already given on Canva's website and you're designing it in that fashion, you can't claim copyright to that. And that actually may be a problem, even if, let's say, you use Canva. Let's say you wrote, let's for argument's sake, let's make it simple, 200 pages, and then you take that 200-page manuscript and you take it to a publisher, Hatchet Book Group, Penguin, Random House, whatever, right? Odds are when you sign that publishing license agreement, they're going to want to know that everything in that manuscript is your copyright. They want you to represent and warrant in the representation of warranties clause of that publishing agreement that every element that is contained within that manuscript is your true and authentic copyright. If you're using graphics as part of like your illustrations for a manuscript, that could be a problem. If you're using any other copyrighted element from Canva and it's found in your manuscript, you really can't claim copyright over that specific asset. And this is also worth noting that Canva is also the same entity that has made it very clear that if you were to, let's say, even make a logo for a company that you have, you can't take that logo and register it in the US Patent and Trademark Office as a trademark, because that is something that anyone has access to. It's not something that you can claim full ownership of. You're just using template software to build a logo, but it's the kind of thing that you can't claim ownership over because it's not your authentic creation of a logo. So generally speaking, Canva, great tool, super easy to use, very UI friendly, but from a intellectual property law perspective, it wreaks havoc for any owner, for any creator out there, because again, unless you are authentically creating something and importing it into Canva, all the assets that are on the Canva platform are not your copyright. It's theirs and theirs only. And they even have the right, this is laid out in the content license agreement, you can check it out for yourself, but they even reserve the right to revoke the license from you, whether you're doing it under the free basis or even the pro license, if, let's say, there's some infringement claim that goes awry. So it breeds more red flags than green flags. So please be mindful of that. I would say you could certainly use Canva as an aid along the way, but if you're writing a book and you need illustrations, hire an illustrator, make them, I would pursue that type of contracting work over using graphic designs that may be available on Canva. If you're writing, if you're writing it all out on pages, let's say you're writing your whole story out on pages, and it's just, words upon words, just use Microsoft Word. And the best part of Microsoft Word is that you can be able to export it as a PDF. You don't have to worry about conversions and this and that and the other, and emailing yourself a copy, and then God forbid, losing a digital copy of it because you didn't save it properly on the website. You don't have that issue with Word. So I think that there are better options to pursue than Canva. Canva, again, is great. And I think for low level content creation, it's awesome. But if you're in the business of trying to protect your authentic execution of ideas, your expression of ideas, then obviously it's more of a red flag because you can't claim copyright over those specific assets.
And if you have questions on this, it is always a good idea to ask your lawyer. Your lawyer will be able to guide you through this process to make sure that you're using things that you are, in fact, legally allowed to use, and things that will not get you tripped up when you put it out into the public with your fingers crossed, hoping you make some money off of this. So take that into consideration as you're making plans moving forward inside of your publishing career. And if you have questions on the legal side of the publishing world, now's the time to drop them. Tony's coming back for upcoming episodes. And as always, you can reach out to Tony on his social media. Tony, where can everybody find you?
You can find me on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok at the IP Professor, and you can check out my entertainment law podcast called End Scene, with new episodes dropping every Friday on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts.
Drop your questions down below. Tony's coming back for upcoming episodes, and we're going to continue to drop daily episodes helping you navigate the world of publishing, from your writing to your publishing to your marketing, to make this your most profitable year ever with the least amount of stress, overwhelm, and time commitment on your content creation. We'll see you in the upcoming episodes.